And we are live. What is going on, everybody? My name is Nikki Smokes, joined by Bobby and Jay. You were listening to the Smoke Show. Today is Monday. I don't really have a word for it because usually we're accustomed to it being Victory Monday, but we're not coming off a victory. And then we already lost on Thursday. So it's just Monday. It's just a dumpy Monday. It is what it is. And I feel like I was convicted of something over the weekend, so I wanna convict everyone else. Divorce rates are at an all-time high. They're at an all-time high. And I'm sitting here and I'm thinking to myself, why? Well, actually, my pastor was thinking about why, and he gave me the answer. It's because people don't know how to communicate. And sometimes the easiest way isn't always the right way. So there's always that time where there's that elephant in the room and you're like, we should really talk about this, right? And just get over it. But then you're like, nah, like going through all that emotions and talking. Let's just watch Netflix and let's push it to the side, you know? And then the week goes by and then you forget about it. And then you fast forward 3 years and you're in marriage counseling and all these emotions have been hitting and deep down inside and it's just eating at you and it's eating at your relationship. All because you couldn't communicate. So today I want to start off and I want us to communicate a very sensitive topic and something that I believe needs to be discussed. Not for us to be negative, not for us to be overly positive, but to just communicate and express our feelings to the max. First things first, as a human being, I want nothing but the best for Tua Tagovailoa, his health, his family, and him as an individual. But us as fans and as fans that pretend to be general managers, this is the 1, 2, 3, 4th time we've seen him get hurt since we got him. Well, he broke his hip in college, but after that, ribs, thumb, concussion. 4 times. Before the season started, we all said, what did we need to see from Tua for his third-year jump? And so far, he has checked every single box except my biggest one, and that's being available. And I know he's only out for 1 game. And by the way, I truly believe that he wants to play and that he's healthy enough to play, but it would be an absolute PR nightmare for the Miami Dolphins to play him against the Jets. So he's missing 1 game. If Tua ends up missing 2 to 3 to 4 games this year, not just the concussion alone, I'm saying even if he comes back and gets re-injured down the line, do you feel comfortable having him as your franchise quarterback? When we talk about Tua Tagovailoa, you were talking about a franchise quarterback and, like what Jay said, an asset that you're going to have to pay. And when you're talking about a quarterback, the minimum that you're starting at, even for a franchise tag, I think is around $30 to $35 million. So in our therapy session right now, I want to ask Bobby first, do you believe that Tua's build and what you've seen so far, are you comfortable with him being the franchise quarterback?
All right. So, I mean, we'll talk about Tua's injury a little later and kind of the perception and how the national media is treating it. But right now, just as a Dolphins fan, how do I feel about Tua as the guy going forward? I mean, as we all were through the first 3.5 games, 100% bought in. Tua's the guy. Tua's done everything. And then this injury pops up. And it sucks, dude, because this kid has just been injured in some of the most, like, random ways. But, I mean, and like Smoke said, we want to hope he's healthy. I would never say anything bad about him, but I mean, the injury that he's just sustained was 100% on him. That kind of goes to it as well. If he just throws that ball away, I think we win that football game. I think we're in a better position. Tua's healthy, all of that. So I think that some of Tua's play and what he's doing, not getting the ball away or not making that decision to move, step out of the way, take the sack easily, throw it away, something, that's causing him to get injured. I think that's pretty apparent, and his body doesn't seem to stand up to it. So it's definitely causing concern. I at the beginning, through 3 games, I was like, we're ready to pay Tua. Let's get him that check. Let's
I
get
was
him that
ready to
4,
sign the
5,
check.
6-year deal. Let's get it done. Now, at this point, I'm hesitant. I can't lie to you. I think it'd be foolish to give him a long-term deal right here, right now.
Yep.
I would like to see him play the rest of the season out, because if he only misses this one game, bounces back, picks up right where he left off, I can look at it as a blip in the radar, and I can move forward and say Tua is still the guy. Now, am I going to sit here and say I want to pay Tua a 5-year monster deal? Not right now. I think if Tua can get back healthy, continue this high level of play, a bridge deal seems absolutely ideal for him. We sign him for 2 years, something a little more team friendly that isn't a super duper max, and we keep it rolling with Tua, because I'll tell you what, guys. Do you remember how hard it is to find a quarterback? Like it's not just let's get rid of Tua and we'll get this next guy in and he'll be good to go. It's like the Dolphins have built a team that is ready to win right this second.
Yep.
So, I mean, if you get out to the offseason and all of a sudden there's these guys like a Lamar Jackson or like a Kyler Murray or like someone and there's trade talks or they're released or they're free agents, obviously you weigh your options at that point. But in the NFL, quarterbacks just don't grow on trees. Simple as that. And in my opinion, Tua at the floor is a top 15 quarterback in the NFL. And at his ceiling, who knows? He's still not like we saw what his ceiling could be in Baltimore. We saw him win a game in Buffalo. Like we know what he's capable of. I'm not ready to say top 5 quarterback in the league, but I would say he's definitely somewhere in that top 10. And if that's what you're going to get out of Tua, I definitely still would like him to be the guy. But the injuries are so questionable that I can't have a firm opinion right now. But if he misses, say he's out 4 or 5 games right now from this concussion, which I don't think is happening. I don't think there's a shot in hell, to be honest with you. I think he could play this Jets game if this whole media circus wasn't going on. But he's going to miss at least one. If it turns into a bunch at that point, you really, really, really got to think. But I still deep down want to just give him the benefit of the doubt and say he's played great this year. He's going to come back after one game, and he's going to keep playing great. That's from a very optimistic standpoint. But I'm just not ready to rush to judgments right now. It's a long season. Hopefully he misses one. He's right back in and we pick up and we forget this conversation ever happened.
Yeah, I'm not there either. So for me, just because you guys have broken it down, obviously whenever Tua is healthy, that's when you bring him back, whatever. Personally, I think he is healthy right now. He probably could play in the Jets game, but again, PR nightmare, we've already been over that. When it comes to paying him, here's the thing. As of right now, because it's just happened, it's a fresh wound, I still feel like, for all Dolphins fans. Yes, I'm hesitant right now. But like Bobby said, and this is where we have to figure it out, if he misses 4 or 5 games, even if he does pick it up right where he left off, you can't pay him. You can't. There's no way, possible way. He's been injured too much. However, if, like Bobby said, and this is what I think is going to happen personally, that's just my theory, if he comes back against the Vikings, picks up where he left off, doesn't get injured the rest of the year, like he said, it's a blip in our radar, and you keep going forward, because missing one game, that's actually very common in the NFL, just to miss one. So if he misses one, that's fine with me. That's very okay. You pay him, and you keep going forward like it never happened, honestly. Obviously, concussions are tough, but you saw Jalen Phillips talk about today. He's at like 3 in his career, and I don't think anyone's concerned about him quitting or retiring football at the moment, right? So I think that's one thing that you have to keep in mind. So you guys have already broken down kind of the feelings we've had. Obviously, we're all Dolphins fans. We want him to be healthy, et cetera, et cetera. Again, my personal theory is that he could go against the Jets, and I would have wanted him to go against the Jets, if I'm being honest. I don't like optics and politics playing into that, which we'll get to, but let's say he's not ready, and let's believe, it's being put out, which I believe in. So let's say he's not ready against the Jets. I full well believe he's going to be going against the Vikings. And I think if he just picks up where he left off, which I think he will under Mike McDaniel, I think the pair of Mike McDaniel and Tua is a process and a setup for success. So I think if that happens, he picks up where he left off, then you pay him, and then I'm not worried. So it's kind of hard to say right now, just because, again, like I said at the beginning, it's a fresh wound. So we'll kind of have to see what happens going forward, just because, again, it's not like his deal's coming up. He still has the 4th year. Then we have the 5th-year option as well. So there's actually a lot of time for us to figure it out. But to me, like, if he can just get back on the field against Minnesota, ride out the season strong, I think we're in with a franchise quarterback. And like Bobby said, like, we haven't had a franchise quarterback since Dan Marino, since before I was alive. It's not like we're just going to get rid of 2 and just hit the ground running. That's not how it works.
Yeah, exactly.
Good quarterbacks are hard to find in the league. And when you find one, you want to keep them. That's why a lot of quarterbacks don't end up moving around that much. That's why, and I hate to say
Kirk Cousins gets franchise tagged every year. And he's Kirk Cousins. Like, some people will pay a premium for Kirk Cousins because they know how bad the play could be in the quarterback position in the NFL.
Exactly. So to me, it's not an easy decision, but it's going to be something we're going to have to keep an eye on and wait till the end of the season. But again, just because it's a fresh wound, obviously I think we'd all be hesitant to pay him right now, just the way it looks, because at first you would think, is he going to retire from football as a whole, like when the injury first happened? So I think obviously it's a fresh wound. We'll kind of figure that out. But to me, and what I think is going to happen, if you want to ask what I believe he's going to hit the ground running. He's with McDaniel still. I think that's a setup for success. And I think we're going to hit the ground running. It's going to be a blip in the radar, like Bobby said. Again, very optimistic. But to be honest, that's all Tua has done in his career. After the hip injury, after the rib injury, all he does is come back.
Well, here's the thing.
Games.
All he does is come back, and I'm tired of seeing that. And I know he's tired of going through it. Just ask
That
OBJ.
too.
Do you think he enjoys tearing his ACL every year to rebuild it and then only play 8 games, even though he catches a touchdown in the Super Bowl? Absolutely not. And I respect Tua. He's an absolute warrior. Like, he has my utmost respect. And it just sucks that it came at this time because he has looked phenomenal. Like, he genuinely looked
really good,
the best
Top
he
5
ever
MVP
has.
candidate. He was an MVP candidate. Yeah.
I agree. Like, I think he was up there. I mean, Josh Allen had better numbers, but I thought Tua made more plays in that game. He outplayed Lamar Jackson, who was arguably the MVP this year. Like, Tua has looked amazing, but the biggest thing for me, now I said my biggest thing for this team was to beat Buffalo. They did that, but I said my biggest thing for Tua, and I talked about it all May, he has to play all 17. Look, it's a concussion. It's very political. He's already officially been rolled out, so he will miss this game.
Yep.
However, if he misses this game, I'm not going to hold it over his head. But if he misses 2 games, 3 games, 4 games, 5 games, I have to be out. I have to be out simply because your quarterback is the most important player on the field at all times. And if you are constantly having to play a backup quarterback and pay a backup quarterback, we're giving Teddy Bridgewater $6 million.
And he'll probably end up making 10 because he had incentives if he played. He'll probably end up making 10.
And now he's playing. And that is why you go out there and you sign Teddy Bridgewater, because the Dolphins know, hey, the odds are this guy is going to get hurt.
It's also why they drafted Skylar too, right?
And you hit the nail on the head when you were talking about it was Bobby actually, when you were talking about his injuries and how a lot of them are self-inflicted. He broke his hip at Alabama doing exactly what he did against the Bengals when he got the concussion. He's a warrior, and he doesn't let any play die.
I know, dude.
He needs to change that, especially with his body frame. He's not Herbert, who's 6'6", can crack his rib and play the next week. He's not Josh Allen, who's 6'6", 240, and runs around and no one can tackle him. No one can even take him out of a game because he's such a monster. Tua, I believe when he's on the field, at least this year, is a fantastic quarterback, but he needs to stop trying to play like he's 6'6" and understand that he's 5'11", 6 foot, 215 pounds at max. And he needs to start protecting himself. And if he can't do that, I don't see how you could pay him a long-term contract. And then on top of that, when he gets hurt and he's not playing, you know what that does to us fans? We're sitting here like, oh, man, well, we don't really have a verdict yet, and now it's year 4. Oh, well, what if Tua played these games? Oh, well, what if he didn't break his ribs? Oh, well, what if he didn't hurt his thumb or pinky or whatever the hell it was last year? Then it just leaves all this uncertainty, and all of us fans are like, damn, well, we don't really have a clear-cut answer. And you can't keep doing that, or we're going to be in the same cycle like we were with Ryan Tannehill. And then even when Tannehill left and he had the best run game in the league and offensive line, they made a run in the championship, in the playoffs, but they never got to that Super Bowl. They never won that AFC championship game. And I just don't want to see the same thing with Tua. But like I said, if he plays, if this is the only game he misses and he goes out there and picks up where he left off, because I was sold. Going into the Bengals game. If we walked out of there with the win, I mean, I would come onto this show with the crosses underneath my eyes every single episode. I think he's looked fantastic. I just think he needs to stay healthy. And I think that's where we all are. But just real quick, if he does miss 2 to 4 games, are you guys going to want him to be the quarterback next year?
Just real quick, because I thought about this. So this is year 3 for Tua, correct?
Correct.
3.
He's on a 5-year deal. So I mean, he still has 2 years left on that contract. We're not in any rush.
It's a rookie
He has
contract's 4 years.
it's 4 years, so he has 1 year
4
left
years.
plus the 5th-year option.
Plus the 5th-year option,
Okay.
which they will pick up because he's a quarterback in football. You don't not pick up options on quarterbacks.
Yeah, they picked up
So
Sam Darnold.
Yeah.
So he has 5 years left on his. So he has 2 years left on his deal. So at the end of this year, especially from what we've seen, definitely you're not extending him. You're not signing him to any crazy deal. I think that at the end of the season, you would say, let's see what's out there. Let's look around. Let's test the markets. Let's see what the phones are ringing. Let's see what people are saying. Is there a guy we can bring in right now that we think is better than Tua, is a long-term plan, and can bring us to a Super Bowl? Because at a certain point, that becomes the goal. Because right now, this team is sitting first in the AFC East. We're having not in the AFC East, first in the AFC with a loaded team showing some real promise. And honestly, if you put a quarterback in there that even Tua, when Tua was playing at that level, I'm convinced the Dolphins are good enough to go to the playoffs. The Dolphins are good enough to win the division. The Dolphins are good enough to win a playoff game. It's all right there. So I don't think there's going to be an option that's going to be gold that we could just scoop up that's going to provide us all those things. So I think it's going to be Tua this year and next year. I think that's just the reality of Miami Dolphins, to be completely honest with you.
Like Smoke said, and again, I feel like you want to be a man of your word, and as much as I love to, and I've backed Tua online personally with my friends, with the homies, with the boys, everyone who I've talked to, I've defended Tua. But I also want to be like truthful and honest, and again, I want to be a person who can I don't say stuff just to lie and whatever. Beginning of the season, I think it was on this show, and I talk with Smoke all the time. If he misses games, he already is injury prone, but that means that durability is a real issue. And availability is your best ability. If you can't be available, you can't be a franchise guy, and you don't pay him. Dude. It's as simple as that. You can't pay him. And I think something that should be said, just because that's pretty much my stance on it. You miss more than one game, it's going to be tough. To be honest, I didn't want to see him miss any games, but it was such a kind of finicky and weird thing going on right now, especially just with the PR and everything. I can give this a break. But something that should be said and something that should be noted is Tua knows all this. Tua himself knows all this, and I think he wants to play. I think he wants to play really bad because he can earn more money, obviously more money. I think respect and integrity from his teammates and all that stuff has a place in his head, a place in his mind. But again, we know Tua, like Smoke said, is a warrior. And I think it's a big thing to talk about that he knows, like I said, he knows this. He wants to play. I don't think he wants to have this tag that he's injury prone. I don't think he wants to have these things are surrounding him. I think he just wants to let his on-field play to do the talking. But the issue is to have on-field play do the talking, you have to be on the field. So I think Tua knows that, and I think he wants to be on the field. So we'll have to see. Again, he's already ruled out for this game. That's already been established. Mike McDaniel already ruled him out. So hopefully he's back for the Vikings game, and he picks up and starts running. If not, then again, like Smoke said, we have a real issue. It's a real issue at that point. It's not something that we can just dust under the rug and say, he'll come back, the fingers, all that stuff. Exactly. That's something you can't dust under the rug. So hopefully just misses the one game. We're back and rolling, and we don't have to have this conversation again, because as a fan, like you said, for the first 3.5 games, I think we were all very excited to finally have a franchise quarterback, to have a guy who we're finally excited to watch. And like you said about about him missing games and about how we can't be. I'm not excited. Listen, I think we're gonna win. I'm not excited to watch Teddy play. Yeah, Tyreek Hill is probably still gonna go off for 100. Yeah, still might do well, but I'm not as excited for the game as a fan. Yes, I will always watch the Dolphins. I watched the Dolphins my whole life when they were dog shit, bottom of the league. I'll obviously continue to watch them. But we finally have a guy who's elevated us to a point where I want to watch him play on the Miami Dolphins. And I guarantee everyone watching, to a hater, to a lover, everything, you are not as excited to watch this game against the Jets. No. You're nowhere near as excited.
Absolutely
so I think that's something that should be said. Tua wants to play. And if he misses more than a couple games, like you said, to answer your original question, that's kind of how it goes.
Right. All right. Well, we talked about Tua. He's not playing this Sunday. So let's talk about the guys that are playing this Sunday. And as of right now, that is Teddy Bridgewater. And I forgot how sensitive of a subject Skylar Thompson is. I sent out a tweet this morning saying, I think we should start Skylar Thompson. You should have saw my mentions. You should have saw the interactions. Everyone was going crazy. Oh, my God, how are we going to trust a guy that's never thrown a pass over Teddy Bridgewater, who has 7 years in the league? What are you, an idiot? What do you mean we have nothing to lose? Blah, 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 blah. We better play Teddy. And I think it's because everyone's petrified to see what we have in Skylar Thompson. Now, after reasoning and thinking about it, if I'm Mike McDaniel, yes, I am going to play Teddy Bridgewater. as long as he doesn't fuck up. But the second I see that the offense does not have that spark, or that he still doesn't know the playbook, or that he's throwing interceptions in the fourth quarter on the Bengals 30-yard line, I mean, that's ridiculous. And when I said you have nothing to lose, I wasn't talking about the season, okay? I don't care who is playing in this game. I think the Dolphins are going to win regardless. Now, no knock to the Jets because they are a lot better than we think. They have a really, really good secondary. I just don't think there's a way that they could beat us. I don't. And that sounds contradicting because I just said they're low-key pretty good.
It did, dude.
Yeah.
But I just I know they beat the
saying,
Steelers.
yeah.
I know they beat the Browns, but I don't see them beating this Dolphins team. I don't see them being on this Dolphins team. But let me get back to my point. When I said you have nothing to lose, I'm talking about Skylar Thompson and Teddy Bridgewater. You have nothing to lose if you play Skylar in this game. Because if you put him in and he goes out there and he lights it up, not only might you have a franchise quarterback where you only have to pay $890,000 a year, but you don't ever have to worry about paying another backup quarterback $6 million again.
Yep.
I mean, we watched Teddy Bridgewater play. I wasn't excited. He came into the game. I said, our offense is dead. I know Tua was hurt, and that kind of absolutely killed the mood. I'm aware of that. I am aware of that. But you're going to sit here and tell me that as a fan, if you heard Skylar Thompson was starting, I would be glued to that television. I would be so excited to watch the Fins on Sunday. And I'm always excited to watch the Fins on Sunday. And I still will be excited to watch the Fins play on Sunday, even with Teddy in the game. But if I'm Mike McDaniel, I have Teddy Bridgewater on the shortest of leashes. I'm talking about ones that they make you put on your pit bull in a gated community, like a 3-foot leash. That is it. Like, if he makes any mistakes, I think you have to see what you have in Skylar Thompson, because the whole fan base knows him. It's not like he's some bozo schmuck that you signed off the street 2 days ago. No disrespect to Reed Sennett. This man was the preseason MVP. People wanted this guy to compete for the starting job. And everyone wants to sit here and say, well, Skylar Thompson beat up on backups. Well, who did Teddy Bridgewater play in the preseason? Why did Teddy Bridgewater still look like complete dog water in the preseason, while Skylar came in and was absolutely cooking? I know the talent wasn't as great, but Teddy didn't look great against the same talent. He didn't.
Can I ask a
and
question?
You look what happened.
Quickly,
you look what happened with the Patriots. They just played their third-string quarterback against Aaron freaking Rodgers in Green Bay and almost won the damn football game.
Yeah, but he's not the reason they won that bitch. He's not the reason for that.
Mouth. Shut up. He came in and put up 24 points.
Did you watch the game?
You might have a hidden gem on your bench. And if you're not even going to give it the time of day, if you're not going to give this little seed a little bit of water and sunshine to possibly see what you have in this small window of opportunity, you're crazy. Because the second Tua comes back, Skylar knows he has 0% chance of ever stepping on the field because of how invested we are into Tua. And by all means, Tua's earned that because he has looked great these first 3 games. But if he is not playing, and now all you have to do is say, yeah, I want to start Skylar over Teddy, I think you could sell that. You could sell that a lot easier to a fan base than Skylar over Tua. And if you ever want to see what you have in this kid, because if you put him out there and he sucks, all that Skylar Thompson bullshit, you don't ever have to hear about it. You don't have to ever hear about Skylar Thompson again. But if he goes out there and balls, you want to talk about solving your quarterback problem overnight? You don't have to look further than your own bench.
And you don't have to look for a backup either if Tua gets hurt. You can literally roll with those two, and your quarterbacks are set for the next 3-4 years, and you're good because Skylar's getting paid a 7th-round rookie contract. Also, really quick, Bobby, just before you go, I just have a question.
You're good, dude.
So Teddy, we're talking about Teddy in preseason, why he wasn't cooking. Now, that's fine. That's whatever. But I have an issue with Teddy right now, and it's his body language, and I know everyone likes to oversay that, but I have to ask a question because you see him on the Saints, he's dancing around the locker room, having a good time, all this stuff, coming back from the injury, all that type of stuff. I'm fairly sure, like 99.999. He's from Florida. He's like back at home. He should be having the most fun ever. But I'll be honest. And
He
again, I
is
don't take.
outside of the locker room.
I was gonna say I don't want to take. I don't take it. I don't obviously take suicide shit. Bro, he looks like he wants to kill himself on the field. He looks like he wants to die. He just doesn't care. It's crazy. I don't get it because I've seen Teddy in Minnesota. I've seen Teddy on the Saints, and he looked like he was having the happiest time, just happy to be alive, happy to be involved. Whether he was the backup, whether he was a starter, or whatever, he just looked like he was having a great time. And I thought that's what we were going to be getting him in Miami, especially him being from Miami. But he looks so bored. He looks like he doesn't want to do anything. You know what he looks? He looks uninvested, which I do not want to see on my football team.
Exactly.
If you're uninvested in a team that could go to a playoff run in a Super Bowl, I don't want you on my team. I don't want you near my team. I'd actually rather it be off the team. It's one of those things where, you know, when you're, we're obviously familiar when you're a rebuilding team, but you just want good energy there because that's what's going to keep you going through the season, and you want to get those bad vets out and those good vets in. You want to keep the Jamal Williams of the world. Why is it's so surprising to me because again, I'm saying all this. I do want.
This is exactly why. And that comment hit it on the head because in Minnesota, he was the guy. And then he had his chance to be the full-time starter in New Orleans, and he was bought in, and he was a big part of why they're winning. And then Teddy here, he knows his role. I am strictly
that's a bad veteran. That's
a backup. He's 29 years old. He's from here. He's out there coaching high school games. Like, he loves being home, and he loves getting paid $6 million a year to do it. But do you think he's still in love with the same grind of trying to be this NFL quarterback? I don't see it because when he's out there against the Bengals, he still didn't know he didn't know the plays. Guys weren't lining up right. Granted, it also happened in the first half while Tua was there. But I don't see that fire. And I think body language is very important. When you walk into work, Bobby works from home. It's different. He gets to just sit there and chip golf balls into his net. But when I walk into work and I'm like, fuck, I hate this job, and I'm sitting here with my resting bitch face, yeah, I might be doing a good job of what I'm doing, but people will walk in and be like, damn, this guy looks fucking miserable. Like, what is wrong with him? And it's like, hey, asshole, I've been up since 4:30 in the morning. That's the vibe that I get from Teddy Bridgewater. That's what I get. But Skylar Thompson, a guy who was fighting for his right to party, give the kid a fucking chance. You have nothing to lose there. Bobby, you're shaking your head.
Yeah.
Just let me know.
I've been so ready to talk, just kind of taking it in. And I would say about 95% of the stuff you guys just said, I wholeheartedly disagree with. One of the things that I would say that Smoke hit the nail on the head is Skylar Thompson is a seed that needs to be planted and grown. You don't do that as a rookie in the NFL coming in and just taking it by the reins. Like, it sounds so great. And it's so easy to sell to fans. Like you said, would fans be more interested if Skylar was playing? Absolutely. Everyone would because of the mystery of the unknown. But it's so short-sighted, and it's so crazy to think that he just comes in and balls based off of what we saw in the preseason. And it's just and Smoke keeps saying there's nothing to lose when I just stated the Dolphins are 3-1 in the NFL. We're first in the AFC. There's everything to lose. You put Skylar in and you start this game and he goes out there and throws 3 picks. We lose the game and look like shit to the Jets. All of a sudden the momentum starts spiraling and getting worse. And you guys want to talk about Teddy Bridgewater's body language and how he looked so great in New Orleans and he's dancing in the locker room. Well, that second year in New Orleans, he started 5 games and he won all 5 of them. So, yeah, he felt like he was a big part of the team that was out there winning games. So, of course, his body language looked great there, and Teddy looked on top of the world. But don't get me wrong, dude. From what I've seen from Teddy, have I been overly impressed or like, holy shit, I'm so happy we have Teddy? Not necessarily, but I at least know that Teddy in his career as a quarterback has a quarterback record of 33-30. Last year as the Broncos starting quarterback, he started 14 games. He went 7-7. That tells me he is very mediocre, and that's all you want in a backup quarterback. You want him to go out there, steady the ship, keep the offense on schedule, try and hit your home runs here or there, let the defense do what the defense keeps doing, and win the game. You don't need a Skylar Thompson to come in to spark the team. We don't need a spark from our 7th-round pick. What we need is Tua to get healthy and come back in. And until then, I'm more than comfortable having Teddy, a proven veteran, go out there and try and win some games. And on top of that, you got to think about the fact that Mike McDaniel is now going to have 10 days to plan for Teddy to be the starting quarterback. He's going to flip the offense because if you don't remember, Tua is left-handed. So when Teddy just comes into a game, that sure as hell flips shit on its head. It puts everyone backwards. Everyone's in a different
probably
position.
Just changes the first word in the play call. Either
I didn't cut you
pro or
off.
con.
I didn't cut you off.
You're right. Go ahead.
So to me, it just seems so short-sighted. It seems Hollywood. It seems like, oh my God, what an amazing story. Skylar's coming in the 7th round pick, and he's going to be incredible, and he's going to lead the Dolphins. And then when he does that, we don't have to pay Tua, or we don't have to pay a backup. Like, it all sounds so great in theory. And don't get me wrong, if any of that was to happen, I'd be so pumped up. Like, words, Skylar's the truth. Skylar's great. But it's his first year in the league. Everyone wants to say, oh, well, Brady, they had Bledsoe, and Brady sat his whole first year. He played, I think, 1 snap.
It's also a 1 in a million story, yeah.
Quarterback in the NFL is just a whole different game. You can't just walk into an NFL offense, light it up for 300 and win games. That's not how it works. You got to go out there, earn it, prove it, work, learn, get better. And I think that's what Skylar's doing. And I hope that there's some crazy scenario where in 3 years, Skylar's the best quarterback in the NFL and he's a starter for the Dolphins. But if you want to watch stuff and be realistic, Teddy Bridgewater gives us the absolute best chance to go out and beat the Jets. If he has to play against the Vikings, he gives us the absolute best chance to go out and beat the Vikings. These are games that you need to go out and try and win, and he gives us the best option, and I won't hear otherwise. Anything else to me is just completely – it's fictional. It's story time. It's story time.
I'm just going to back up Bobby.
You're done? No, hold on. No. You're not backing him up right now.
He's got a pen in his hand, bro. He's been taking notes.
Got way too much on my mind. So you said Teddy gives us the best chance to win. Well, I thought our best chance to win the game was when we were on the 3-yard line and we didn't score. And then also when we were on the 30-yard line with 3 minutes left and a chance to win the game and he threw an interception. So I don't think that gives us the best chance at winning. Second point. So you're saying that you can't go out there, and what if Skylar goes out there and he throws 3 interceptions off the bat? Well, Bobby, I feel like every single time that me and you text each other during the Dolphin game, what are we always saying? Why are we always playing behind? And I don't think Teddy Bridgewater is going to be the quarterback that changes that overnight, and it wouldn't change how the Dolphins play. We're always playing from behind. And then the last thing I want to address is how you said you can't just throw them into the fire. Well, let me ask you something, Bobby. When you're sitting there and you're training for your new job, right, and they're babying you for 4 days, and then it's finally time for you to pick up the phone by yourself, I feel like that training kind of goes in one ear and out the other, and you don't really learn and grasp it until you start picking up the phone and you find yourself in situations, and then you have to find your own solutions, and that's when that job starts clicking. And also, Bobby, yes, every quarterback who hasn't started hasn't thrown a pass yet. So I'm tired about hearing, oh, well, he hasn't played. You haven't seen him. No shit. He hasn't played. That's the same thing for every rookie quarterback that has ever played in the NFL. You don't know. It's the unknown. And I know Brady sat out his whole first year. That's because Drew Bledsoe didn't get knocked out till the year after.
Correct.
And I get your point. And what's the worst thing that happens? You throw him into the fire and he sucks ass, but then he learns from that situation, and then maybe he becomes an even better backup or a starter down the road. I'd rather do that than sit here and just, oh, hey, Teddy, hold the ship while our injured quarterback
That's what backup quarterbacks do,
and he
brother.
might get injured again, and you'll never know what you might have.
Do you really think we're gonna be playing behind against the Jets? If this was
we
the Vikings,
play behind
sure.
against everyone, Jay.
But if we were going up against the Vikings, I'd be on board. I'd be like, yeah, we need something to get us going, dude. Listen, the Jets, yes, they're up and coming. I want a guy who's not going to turn over the ball, and let's go win the game. Because I'll tell you what, they're offense.
Oh, you don't want someone who's going to turn over the ball? Because last time I watched Teddy Bridgewater play, it was the fourth quarter with 3 minutes left, and the last pass I saw him complete was to the Cincinnati Bengals. It wasn't to the Miami Dolphins.
That's fair, but he also has a level of experience more, which I would say he's going to turn over the ball less than Skylar. Skylar's a mystery box. Teddy, you have 7 or 8 years of NFL experience. Now, again, I just want to specify what I explained earlier because I was upset about his body language. I still think Teddy does give us the best chance to win, especially in this situation. But I also want to say, like Smoke said at the beginning of the show entirely, if Teddy comes in and he makes one mistake, maybe 2, get Skylar in the game. That's what I'll say. But I think you guys both are making great points. I'm just thinking, I think the best chance to win against the Jets, I do think it's Teddy Bridgewater just because he has a knowledge of the NFL game and he has gone up against NFL starters in the over 7 years. Skylar hasn't done that yet. And I think when you say we have nothing to lose, I think Bobby's also right because we do have stuff to lose. We are in first and we're trying to keep that spot. So I think this is This is really important. By the way, yes, this is way better than the first take. This is actual fans talking about the football team they know. Not, dude. I remember on
It's good
ESPN.
communicating.
I heard into his second year, or no, sorry, into his rookie year, they said we had a good run game with Miles. It was crazy. Anyways, you're gonna get way better in-depth knowledge here on the Smoke Show than anywhere else. Just as a heads up. But yeah, I think you're both making good points. But I just think Teddy's experience. Like, let's say their level in terms of talent, whatever you want to say. Teddy's experience just gives him that next step up where Mike McDaniel's going to start him. And he's already announced that he's pretty much going to start him. Obviously, if Skylar plays better in practice, we'll see. And I think practice can be a big part of that because it's a new system, all that type of stuff. But I just think Teddy just has that experience, which unfortunately, Ty goes to the veteran.
And you guys realize that this isn't even a conversation inside the Dolphins facility. Mike McDaniel and the coaching staff and the players are not even for a split second saying that Skylar should be playing. We should consider Skylar. Everyone on the building is on the exact same page that we paid Teddy Bridgewater $6.5 million base. He could go make more to be the backup quarterback if Tua gets hurt. Tua's hurt. Teddy's playing. Like, that's the plan. Like, this is
also
this isn't a debate.
Honestly, the Dolphins coaching staff is being patient with rookies too, dude. Eric Ezukanma has been inactive every game. Channing Tindall has yet to see the field for more than like a couple snaps here and there. All the rookies they've been taking their time with, and quarterback is the most important and most difficult position to play on the field. So, they are being very patient with rookies, and we all thought Channing Tindall, like at least me in my analysis, I thought Channing Tindall might be able to start playing a little bit earlier and maybe take a Landon Roberts spot, but that's clearly not happening. That's clearly not the case. They're being patient with these rookies. Clearly, the coaching staff wants to be patient with the rookies. So when you have a quarterback who's a rookie, again, the most difficult to manage, most difficult position on the field. If they're being
that's
patient
not
with
them
receivers,
being patient with their rookies. That's our rookies not being prepared enough to play because Eric Ezukanma has the talent. He doesn't have the knowledge of the play.
What about Channing Tindall? Because our inside linebacker group is
if he was good enough, he'd be out there. The Rodrigo from the goddamn Lions, a 6th-round draft pick, is a starting linebacker. Why? Because he's the baddest motherfucker on the football team. Balling. Channing Tindall is not that guy. If he was the best man and he was prepared to play, he'd fucking be out there on Sunday, Jay. Don't sell these people to that bullshit. Now, another thing, Bobby. Look, you are right. Teddy Bridgewater should start the game. All I'm saying is his leash should be very fucking short. Should be very, very short because this is the one opportunity you have to see what you have in this 7th-round draft pick that took the whole league by surprise during preseason and training camp. No one thought this guy would make the team, and he did. And now you have this small window of opportunity to see what he has. And if Teddy's going out there and he's just steering the ship, he might not steer it enough to get us over the finish line. And that's when I'll have a problem with not going into your depth and seeing what you have in this guy. And it is a shame to let a man with a fade this perfect not take the field. That fade is perfect. That is one of the best fades beard concepts I've ever seen. I want to leave it up because
fuck the RPO concept. We're talking about the beard fade combo.
That clean, the beard fade and not play a snap.
I mean, I already said this to Smoke in a text. Name the last quarterback with a fade to win a Super Bowl. I think you'd have to go to Patrick Mahomes. Outside of that, you're not finding anybody. But
it's not my fault. Tom Brady freaking wins every Super Bowl.
It's no one's fault. It's been the worst thing ever.
That's why
it together.
Fuck Tom Brady, man.
It's the start of the fresh fade era. Everyone has a fresh fade. Josh Allen has a fresh fade. Lamar Jackson doesn't have a fresh fade. Mahomes
Josh Allen don't even got a fade either. That boy
when Josh Allen cleans it up, he got a fade. He got a fade. Derek Carr got a fade. He not top 5 though.
Derek Carr.
Russell Wilson got a fade. Everyone got a fade. I got a fade. Like
you missed the best quarterback in the league.
If you're not faded, yeah.
Not him. Like I can't trust you. If you don't have a fade, I can't trust you. I'm just saying. A guy with a fade that nice.
Smoke has the same hair and beard as he wants to see himself on the field. He wants to create a play on the field.
Exactly. I'm living through Skylar Thompson.
Can I ask a question then, Smoke? What is a short leash defined to you?
Hi, my name's Teddy Bridgewater. I'm going to lead the Miami Dolphins out there with no energy. Guys are not going to know where to line up, and I'm going to turn the ball over and not make enough plays to make long, sustainable drives to keep our defense off the field.
Okay. That didn't really answer my question. That was pretty vague. I'm saying,
how's that vague? Do you want me to say Teddy Bridgewater, the second he throws 2 interceptions, take him out of the game.
No,
Dude,
I'm saying like
yeah.
2 interceptions, a down 20. Like I am not pulling Teddy Bridgewater from that game.
If we're losing at halftime, I'm making a switch. Like just like Alabama in the national championship game, where the freshman quarterback Tua Tagovailoa, he never made a pass all game, right? But what they do, they plugged them in to the national championship game, and it was the spark that the offense needed because Jalen Hurts did it. And then what happened? They won the national fucking championship, and no one knew who Tua Tagovailoa was going into that game, but we all found out who he was. He was on every newspaper, every headline in America. Why? Because the coaching staff said, hey, my team needs a spark. This quarterback's not getting it done. Let me try our backup and see what we have in him, Bobby. So thank you.
It's apples to oranges, my boy. That couldn't be more
losing.
Apples to oranges,
I didn't cut you off. I have not cut you off since you caught me cutting you off. If we're losing at halftime to the New York freaking Jets, a team where when the schedule came out, each and every single one of us put a big fat W on that schedule.
Jets, by the way, yeah.
If we are losing to that shitty team, who, by the way, isn't as shitty as I thought, if we are losing to that team, yes, Skylar Thompson will be coming out as my starter.
Context matters, though. Like, again, if it's a high-scoring game, Teddy's throwing for 3 touchdowns, no picks, and he just happens to be losing, obviously. But I kind of agree. If this is a low-scoring game, Teddy can't move the ball, and it looks like we're watching Jacoby Brissett out there. Like, again, like that Baltimore game last year, which somehow Tua was healthy enough to be the backup and not the starter, which, again, crazy. We don't have to go back to that. If it's like that, I do agree with Smoke. If Teddy Bridgewater is just out there playing like Jacoby Brissett in that Baltimore game, puts up 6 points, even though I believe we had the lead at that point because our defense was holding up, you put in a new guy. So, yes, I agree. We're not putting up points. And like Smoke said, kind of describing what you need to see and what a game manager is and what not moving the ball. Like, if he's not moving the ball down the field, our offense going 3 and out, short drives, the defense is on the field the whole game, I'm fine with seeing Skylar come out on the field. But I think you have to start Teddy and see what he does. Because if he can go out there and actually steer the ship and keep us in control, put up enough points to where we're up 13-3, 15 to whatever, 17 to whatever, then you got to keep Teddy in. But I think going in, Teddy has to be the starter. But like Smoke said, I would have and I want to even go further than Smoke, I would have a very short leash. He throws a bad interception, you get Skylar in there. Because then Teddy is no longer giving you the best chance to win. I'm about whatever gives the Dolphins the best chance to win against this Jets team. Obviously, Tua would be that guy. Unfortunately, he's out right now. So to me, you go with Teddy, you put Kyler in after. And I think Bobby, I think you'd be okay with that too. You don't just ride Teddy till the end. That's not what I'm here to see.
I'm here to make a guarantee.
Before you chime in, we have 160 people watching live. If you haven't already, hit the like button. Please subscribe.
Baby.
That is the most
Bang
people
that thing.
we've ever had live. We love you guys so much. The chat's been absolutely popping, and I want to keep the thing going. So I just had to put that out there. So if you haven't hit the like button, please subscribe. We're trying to grow. We just passed 2K. We're officially monetized. We are lit. Bobby, go ahead.
Here's my guarantee to you boys, and I'm sorry to burst your bubble. Skylar Thompson will never play a game this season for the Miami Dolphins unless Teddy Bridgewater gets hurt. I don't see a world where it happens. I don't see a world where Teddy gets benched. I don't see it happening. So I understand the movie, the narrative, how great it sounds, all that. But I'm willing to guarantee you that Skylar does not come in unless Teddy somehow gets hurt. And if Teddy gets hurt and Tua is hurt, at that point, who even cares?
Wait. We're down 17-0 at half. You're not putting Skylar in?
No.
He hasn't put up 0 points. The Jets are just running all over.
Whoa. You Dolphins down 17-0 to the Jets. You're not playing Skylar Thompson in the second half. Why?
That's crazy.
I gotta hear this.
That is crazy.
Let me hear this. Let me hear. What's your reasoning?
I just don't think that we should expect anything from Skylar Thompson.
No, but
so your reasoning, your Miami Dolphins are losing 17-0. You mean to tell me if Bridgewater looks like shit, the Dolphins are down 17-0, that I am not going to get a text from you, Bobby Boucher, saying put Skylar in the game?
I get emotional during the games, brother. We all know
You're going to tell me I'm not going to get that text message because that is bullshit.
No. That is bullshit. Skylar, because
I'm not even saying what I want. I'm not saying I get like if Teddy's playing like shit, he's terrible, he's garbage, he looks really bad. There would be a point in my heart where I would say,
even the dog disagrees.
Let's see what Skylar says.
See, you're pissing off my dog. My dog doesn't even understand what you're trying to say.
It's fine. I don't know. That's just my opinion. That's my take.
Maybe that's your opinion on what the Dolphins do, but you think McDaniel, the guy who's probably selected Skylar, you saw something in Skylar. You don't think down 17-0? I disagree actually there. Because to me, yes, Teddy's the guy you started off with. But I'll be honest, you're down 17-0. The ball, it's 3-0, 3-0, 3-0. Teddy, you obviously already have a baseline with you're down 17-0. Skylar is at least a mystery box at a minimum. He's a mystery box. Because here's my thing. You can't do worse than Teddy at that point because Teddy's not doing anything. So why not put the mystery box in if because the baseline's 0?
I don't know. I just don't see it. I don't know if it's because I'm sitting here and I just know what. I mean, even look at the normal rookie quarterbacks, and I'm not saying he's not normal. I'm just saying
this
he was
class
a
was
7th round
not
pick.
that good.
But I'm just saying, like, look what happens when rookies come in. It's such a culture shock. Smoke compared it to college football. Like, it's not even close. Smoke even went as far as to comparing it to me training on the job for a phone call, which was one of the crazier comparisons I've ever heard in my entire life.
It's a fantastic.
Wait. Did Kenny Pickett not look better
Getting
than
a football
Trubisky?
is a job. They get paid
Pickett
to play football. It's
Yeah,
a
but they-
job.
Yeah, but
It
they
has
got 3
basic requirements. You said it takes time and training, right? You have to train him. He has to learn the system. It sounds a lot like a job to me, Bobby.
Nah, brother. I don't. When I answer a phone call and say I take that phone call and fuck it up a little bit, the worst thing that's going to happen to me is they're going to hang up. I'm going to get someone else to answer their call and we'll be good to go. In the NFL, you got 300-pound men flying around at you on a team that has, like, if the Dolphins started this year 1-3 and we're sitting in this spot, I'd say, fuck it, dude. Play Skylar right now. We have nothing to play for. We have nothing to win for. Let's see what we got in Skylar. But I just have such
but that's what
aspirations
pisses
for this
me
team.
off because your shit said, your shit take said, if we were down 17-0 with Teddy and he looks like shit, you wouldn't play Skylar in.
I just think Teddy gives us the best chance to win this game, no matter what.
No, but here's my
Even
thing.
down 17-0
saying.
at halftime.
Down
Even down
17-0.
17-0. Hold on. I want it. No, stop, Jay. Even down 17-0, Teddy Bridgewater gives us the best chance to win. I want to hear that come out of your mouth.
Even down 17-0, I believe that Teddy Bridgewater gives us the best chance to win. I believe that Teddy Bridgewater gives us the best chance to win no matter what in this football game. That's just my personal opinion.
What does the score have to be for him to not be the
30-0? Because then Bobby might be like, oh shit. But I know Bobby though, and I love what he's doing because he's giving us a good talk, a good debate here, a good communication, good conversation. See, we're getting all these tough conversations out now, so our relationship doesn't tarnish later. That's why the divorce rate is so high in America, because people don't know how to communicate. That's what we're doing right now. But I know Bobby. I've known him for about 6 months now. And I talk to him more than anyone I talk to be honest with you. He is going to text me if the Dolphins are down 17-0 at halftime.
When you're watching a game, it's very different. I will go crazy. I say stuff I would never say ever when I'm watching Dolphins games, which, maybe not the best thing to stream, but that's what happens when you watch games.
Dude, I think it's so tough streaming when you're watching the Fins game because you just want to say some of the craziest shit and you're like, oh, wait, people are watching.
That's why I had to put out that video of just the highlights of me because during that Ravens game, anyways,
that's probably the way to go is pre-record it and then edit it and clip it.
Oh no, I did not do that. I was live. I just edited it.
No, that's what I should do because doing it live is just it's
no, but exactly. But that's what I'm saying. I think all of us will be down 17-0. I also think Bobby is playing the role of what he thinks the Dolphins are going to do because I think what he would do is different than what the Dolphins would do.
Nah, I think Bobby has talked himself into Teddy.
I pray to God that's what happens. Say we get into this situation and you guys are going to come for me and you guys are going to be like, oh, we told you Skylar was that guy. We told you Skylar's so good and Teddy. If that transpires and turns out that way, I'm going to be so happy right along with you guys. I'll take the shit and I'll eat it all day long happily. But let's
make a bet.
It's just my personal opinion. It's what I think
make a bet.
right now.
If Skylar
Thompson
Thompson plays one snap, you have to get a Skylar jersey.
Can he do it through his Chinese hookup?
It could be a Chinese jersey. I don't care, but you have to buy it.
What college did he go to? Can I buy that
Kansas State.
one?
No, I want the Dolphins. I want Miami Dolphins number 19, Skylar Thompson.
I mean, I got a graveyard of jerseys over there. Why not add another one to it? I'm in.
Wait. Over under half a snap. You're taking the over. Smoke.
Skylar plays the game. Thank you. Shake. Thanks.
Be my second jersey cop in a week. I just had to cop the Javon Holland for my boy. And funny story about that. Early in the week, it's Monday. I send the contest out. I said, hey, let's get this Javon Holland jersey going. By the time the contest was over with, Javon Holland jerseys were sold out. So I had to buy a customized Javon Holland jersey for the boy. So
My Tua jersey's still not here. I don't know if it's because I shipped it from America to Canada. Some bullshit. Let me get my Tua jersey, man. It's still not
if
here.
you got it from Fanatics, that thing's like 2-3 weeks back.
I know. I just got it from NFL Shop. I want the official, legit everything.
Yeah, it's all the same thing. Fanatics,
man.
NFL Shop, they're like partners, so
God damn
it's
it.
all from the same thing.
Now, if we want to move away a little bit from the discourse about the competition and the Teddy versus Skylar versus Teddy, what I truly think is going to happen in this game is Teddy's going to play quarterback the entire game, and he's going to do so. He's going to do so efficiently with the help of Mike McDaniel. Because I truly believe that Mike McDaniel's play calling is he's up there with anybody in the league in terms of his play calling. And now when you were playing that game last week and you see your quarterback get carted away, the whole team was somber. It looked like Jalen Waddle was crying on the field. No one wanted to play that game anymore. But now you give Mike McDaniel 10 days to prepare. It's going to be quick, short, efficient routes. I mean, Tua said it in his press conference today. He said, or not Tua, I'm sorry. Tyreek said it to one of the interviewers. They were like, are you worried about your production going down without Tua? He said, I could go off with you throwing me the football. And I believe that, man. We have a Ferrari of a football team built around it. They're just going to find ways to get these guys the ball.
So why would you not play a rookie then if you have a guy like that?
Because this is never going to be a problem.
Anyway,
no, I was going to say, being down 17-0 is not
that was the worst point you've made all day, Smoke.
Come on.
I was just going to say, being down 17-0.
If he can put up numbers with you, why would he not be able to put up numbers with Skylar Thompson?
Because why wouldn't you take the guy that you know exactly where the baseline's at instead of the guy that the baseline could be?
Look, I've said I agreed with you that Teddy should start the game. Where I egregiously disagree with you is that the Dolphins being down 17-0, you wouldn't send him out there.
I mean, do you want me to change my opinion? My opinion's my opinion.
No. Like I'm just saying, because if Tyreek could put up numbers with you, me, or Jay at quarterback, my God, he might go for 300 yards with Skylar Thompson at quarterback. I'm just saying. Because I guess it doesn't matter who the quarterback is.
And I guess the thing that bothers me most is just this blind belief that Skylar's going to be so good. It's just so crazy to me, man. You draft quarterbacks in the first round, and they end up being absolute shit. Like, does Skylar have a chance that he could be great? Sure. And like I said, I hope that it comes to fruition. But it's not just that easy. It's not just plug and play at quarterback. Like, quarterback is one of the 32 hardest jobs in the world to be successful at. And just to be so short-sighted to think we could stick this kid out there and he'd be fine. But, I mean, in reality, the Dolphins aren't going to be down trailing points to the Jets, so this isn't going to be a conversation. It's entertaining and it's good to go back and forth, but this isn't ever going to happen.
I'd love to see him play just to see what he has. If he sucks, big whoop. Big whoop. Your third-string quarterback blows. And if he's a baller, you hit the fucking jackpot. You're a gambler. It makes no sense to me. It's like putting $5. You are the king. You are the king of betting plus 3,500, betting plus 4,000, betting same game parlays, $5 to win $3,000. That's what you do.
I love
That's what Skylar Thompson is.
Yeah, but do you know what I am?
Do
you know what I am? I am a loser, bro. I'm a losing gambler.
I don't view you like that, though. I don't think you're a loser. I
do these small bets to take calculated risks where I like to scratch a lottery ticket and have a little bit of fun. The Dolphins football game is not a small risk, a calculated risk.
Yeah.
I need to get out there and win that motherfucker. That's why and Teddy gives us the best chance. Like, it's so odd.
Well, did he win us the game?
Wait,
that's bullshit, though. That's bullshit, though, because Tua gives us the best chance.
Oh,
we saw that.
Yes. No one's debating
right.
that.
Yes.
But then when Teddy went in, he took the best chance we had.
Don't look at it so short-sighted. Don't look at it so short-sighted, bro. He came in relief of a quarterback that left in a stretcher on a left-handed team that had to switch their whole offense. Like, it's not just that simple to expect Teddy to go out there and play great. And for what it's worth, Teddy actually...
You played football in high school, right?
Yeah, I was a fucking monster.
I played football in high school. I'm not saying... Look, listen, I'm not saying because we played football in high school that we're some genius football players. I'm not saying that. But in the most basic offense, you either ran pro or con, right or left. So every play, it's, hey, we're going to go pro upper gun, blah, blah, blah. That means we're going to go to the right. Well, if Tua's in, we're going to call it con, and we're going to go to the left. It's only a word.
That's
It's
also a
not
high
that
school
crazy.
offense. It's not the same.
No. That's so crazy to say, dude. It's not just a word. It's a whole scheme. It's offensive linemen. One's all of a sudden on the front side instead of the blind side. You're going to put receivers in different spots. You're going to
Bro,
roll
they didn't
different
move
ways.
Teron Armstead to right tackle.
I
When
know,
Teddy
but
came
all
in
of
the
a
game.
sudden, Taron Armstrong's the left tackle, and it's a whole different
He's
responsibility.
been the
being on
left
that
tackle.
backside.
He plays left tackle.
No, it's blind. It's the blind side. It's the
I need to
blind
move on
side. It
from
does
this.
change. It's not like it's bad. It does change. Your assignment, I think, is the right word. Changes.
Yo,
based
Dante,
on the side.
fuck you, bro. Fuck you. Who the fuck are you gonna come in here and say I don't have the makings of a varsity athlete? Aren't you still in high school, bro? Get out of here. Get out of here with that shit.
Yeah, graduate first.
Oh, that's great.
Be your own man
great.
sometimes, bro. Be your own mans.
We got 155 people in. We got 75 likes. You know how easy it is to hit the like button? Just like that. Bank. That's all you got to do. That's all I'm asking.
It's free.
All I'm asking is just click that little thumb. Click it. Boop, done. And I won't have to ask again. I don't like stopping the conversation to ask for a like. 150 people in here. 78 likes. Get it to 100. Help us get to 100. I don't think we ever had 100 likes. We might have. But you guys could be the group that changed it. The Miami Dolphins, they haven't won a playoff game in 22 years. This is the team that could change it. You guys in the chat are the ones that could change it. Hit the freaking like button. Be like Bryson. Be like
I have
Bryson.
a question
Hit
for
that
you
like
guys.
button.
Obviously, again, knowing Teddy's in the game, I've Jalen Waddle on my fantasy team. It was a little interesting. He just never looked Waddle's way ever, except for that first pass when he first came into the game. I thought that was a little odd. Obviously, we'll see again 10 days with the game plan. You look for Tyreek, it looked like a lot. I'm very interested to see what the pass distribution is going to be to our receivers. Could we see a guy like Mike Gesicki who could be a safety net for Teddy, kind of be more prevalent in the offense? These are all questions which we'll get to in the middle of the week, obviously on the Wednesday and Friday show. Obviously, as we preview the game and start going as it's a normal Sunday. But Teddy being in the game, and I'll say the backup quarterback, if you think it's Skylar, whatever. Any quarterback that's not Tua, because every other quarterback's right-handed. And again, they're both our backup quarterbacks. It changes a lot about our team. Now, granted, I still think we can beat the Jets, and I still think we will beat the Jets, but there's so many things to get into, which I'm very excited to talk about. Because, again, we already know Teddy's penciled in as the starter, and this was a fun conversation about Teddy versus Skylar. But there's so many things that we have yet to talk about that are still exciting, like how will our defense attack this offense. Guys, Byron Jones might be coming back. Austin Jackson might be coming back. Raekwon Davis should be back. There's a lot of things happening on this Dolphins team, and I don't think Skylar versus Teddy, well, it's the most fun conversation for sure we've seen today. I think there's a lot of things that are still, we're able to talk about and go forward into this Jets week. So there's a lot of stuff to talk about. I'm really excited for it, and man, God knows. I will say this, just to kind of round out the Skylar Teddy conversation. I will say, man, I will get very excited. Like excitement level as a fan. Let's take analysis out of it. Skylar makes you excited to the game. Like Smoke said, and Bobby, you can be a testament to it. I think we'd all be way more excited if Skylar played. So for me, for my buck, as a fan, who cares, man? If he gets in there, if he gets into the game, sure, let's have some fun.
All right, my closing remarks on all of this, because we'll see how it plays out. It is what it is. But there's one thing that's for certain, and it's absolutely sure. Teddy Bridgewater will start the game. And if you're a fan of the Miami Dolphins, you should be rooting for his success. You should want him to go out there, throw 400 yards and 4 touchdowns. If you sit at home and watch this game and all you're thinking is, I hope Teddy fucks up so Skylar can come in. I hope Teddy throws a pick. I hope the Dolphins are down so we get to see Skylar. You're a loser. That's loser talk. That's loser mentality. Whoever's playing quarterback for the Miami Dolphins will have my 100% devotion and support. And this week it's Teddy Bridgewater. So I'm going to root for him to go out there and absolutely dominate the Jets. And if you're going to do anything different, you're just not a fan of the team, in my opinion. So that's how I'll close it out.
And I think that's a great point. And I think that's an excellent point. And Teddy Bridgewater will 100% have my support the entire game until he gets benched.
Any Dolphins player.
Gets benched. And like Bobby, I agree with you. I want to win. I hope Teddy throws for 500 yards and 6 touchdowns and whatever. But you're sitting here telling people you're not a fan if you're rooting for Skylar to come in the game. Well, how are you a fan if you want to keep Teddy in the game and the Fins are down 17-0 at halftime?
That's not what I meant. That's not what I meant. I'm not saying if Dolphins are losing and Teddy's playing bad and you're like, I want Skylar to come in. That's fine. That's your take. That's your opinion. If it happens, we'll see how it comes to fruition. But I'm saying when we're in the game, like you shouldn't be rooting against the guy. You shouldn't be hoping he fucks up so that you get that chance. Like That's
But
all I'm saying,
we've
man.
seen
As
we've
fa-
seen
no, well,
people
as
do that
fans,
with Tua. That
whoever's on
happens.
the field,
There's a lot of
whoever's on the
fans
field,
like that.
no, but they're Tua fans. They're not Dolphins fans, as we like to say.
No,
And I'll say this
no,
too.
like they're Tua haters.
Yeah,
like there's a
sorry.
lot of people like last year, like Tua would drop back and be like, "Please throw an interception so I could go drag this man on Twitter."
Oh,
Like,
dude,
there's a lot
on
of that.
Thursday Night Football, even calling, dude, it wasn't 2 seconds before people started getting on about an interception. Like, guys, is Tua going to go the whole year without throwing an interception? Like, come on now. It's very dumb. I think, man, so much to talk about. Like, we'll see. I think this whole Skylar debate is so interesting. Again, like Bobby said, I'll be honest, inside the locker room, I don't think there's much debate. I think they all know the role. So that's kind of interesting. But we'll kind of see what happens. And, yeah, I think, man, so much to be excited about, man. The biggest thing I have to take from this is, I'll be honest, and this is something that hasn't been brought up, obviously, just because he's hurt. No matter who's in the game, this is a major, and I mean major, step down from Tua Tagovailoa, who was playing like a top 5 MVP
We're
candidate.
not.
I think it's,
I mean, like we could say that confidently with Teddy. We just don't know what we have in
dude,
Skylar.
no, you think it's no.
What do you mean, dude? No, you don't
think
know.
it's for certain? It's a
You
major
don't
step
know.
back from
You
Tua.
don't know. You don't know. You don't
Tua was
know.
playing as a top 5 MVP candidate. I could
Bro.
take the bottom half
Bro,
of the
Tua
starting
to
quarterback
Teddy,
and say,
Tua to Teddy, you're 100% correct. You're 100% correct. I don't have any data on Skylar Thompson. You're drawing conclusions. You're comparing data to something we don't have data on. You can't make a conclusion on that because it's unknown. It's unknown.
That's
you don't
fair
know.
to say with like a bottom half starting quarterback. We're like, okay, maybe we have to take a shot. When you
don't
have a top 10
know.
quarterback, you don't take a chance. I just think
us,
it's a major step down.
us Dolphin fans, we put Tua on a very high pedestal. We might be the only fan base that has Tua as a top 10 quarterback.
He is a top 10 quarterback.
I think through 3 games he is. Through 3 games he is, but through his career, he is absolutely not.
Oh,
and if you
100%.
disagree with that, you are delusional.
No, I agree. I mean, I think anybody with 2 eyes would have to agree to that.
That's why top 15 overall, I would say. Somewhere around there.
I heard someone say Teddy Bridgewater was a top 15 quarterback, and I just stopped listening to him after that. Yeah. That was my reaction, and I can't even make it up. Can't even make it up. Dude, we have 160 people watching still. We got over 100 likes. Thank you guys so much. We are at that hour mark.
We might have to keep going.
Teddy's a top 32 quarterback. You want that take?
Oh, that's a hot take.
That's a hot take. Whoa.
Oh, no way. I can't believe that. Ugh.
That is kind of steamy. I would take 32 quarterbacks over him, probably.
No. I mean, he would be the
Would you rather
starter
have
in
Malik?
Pittsburgh. He'd be the starter in Pittsburgh. I think he'd be the starter in New Orleans.
You don't think Kenny Pickett would do better than Teddy Bridgewater?
Kenny Pickett, I'm not sold on him. Nah, Geno Smith is balling.
Geno Smith is better than him. Geno Smith is better than
balling
him.
right now, Bobby. He is.
He actually is balling right now.
He is.
I take Jared Goff over Teddy Bridgewater.
Goff
not
is
the contract,
good. But I would take Goff over Teddy. Easy.
Okay.
Easy.
I'm not going to argue it any further.
Who would you put Teddy over? Let me hear this list.
On the starters, Which teams would Teddy go on and be a starter right now?
Yeah, just who's he better than? Out of all the starting quarterbacks, who's he better than?
He would start for the Steelers.
He
would start for the Commanders.
Really?
Not over Wentz.
He would start for the Commanders.
I think Wentz sucks, but that Commanders team is dog shit.
Yeah.
Okay, here's one I think we're all going to be able to agree on. He would start for the Colts. Matt Ryan, have you watched Matt Ryan play football?
Yeah, but your whole thing with Teddy is experience, and Matt Ryan's an MVP and been to a Super Bowl.
Okay. I'm going to concede the argument.
Hey, shout out
to you guys.
VBS got one. The Bears.
Yes.
Justin Fields is ass.
I'm a Fields believer though. I'll be honest. I think there's nothing around him. You think Tua had nothing?
That's crazy.
I'm not gonna lie. Justin Fields has nothing. Like he has the same as Tua in his rookie year. He has nothing. He has Darnell Mooney, which is your Devontae Parker.
I'll even give you Matt Ryan.
But hey, Teddy Bridgewater
Tua's better than. Teddy Bridgewater is like, in my eyes, he's as good as Mac Jones. Like he would almost start over Mac Jones. But like the reason why it's saying wouldn't start.
Stop the cap. If you think he is better than Mac Jones, you're saying he's better than Tua.
Mac Jones isn't better than Tua. What?
What just happened to my
computer? if you're like, take yourself out of a diehard Dolphin fan.
No,
out
I
of
get
a guy
that.
Who just
I
bought
actually
a
think
Tua
Tua's better than
Tagovailoa
Mac
jersey. I believe Tua's better than him, but just based off the numbers, like, they are almost identical. They are Mac has
identical.
better
Except Tua had dog shit, and Mac Jones at least had a running game and offensive line, whereas Tua had none of that.
Okay, Mac. I'm not. Stop trying to. I don't want to sit here and like sound like a Patriots defender, but Mac Jones has Devontae freaking Parker, and we know what the fuck that is. It's dog shit.
Yeah, but at least he had a run game and offensive line last year, and they put him in the pro. He was so overrated.
Look, Tua is better than Mac. I am not debating that. Tua is better than Mac, but I would not confidently say, yeah, he's better. That Teddy's better than Mac Jones, and then also just be like, oh, but Tua's way better than Teddy Bridgewater. Like, I just like, that's kind of crazy to me.
I mean, the cool thing is we're going to get to see. We're going to get to find out this Sunday what Teddy's made of. He's got 10 days.
All right, so confirmed.
Game.
Teddy Bridgewater is top 32 quarterback in the NFL.
Yeah, I'll take that back. Maybe
I confirm that if you're asking me.
Yeah, I would say he's top 32, and if Skylar plays, he could be like top 5, top 10, but we don't know. Or he could be outside the top 32.
He could be outside the top 50. We don't know.
To be honest with you, at this point in time, Skylar Thompson could be better than Tom Brady. And at this point, we just don't know it. So he could be better than Brady. He could be like Brady and Mahomes somehow had a child together. And then it might be Skylar
Russell
Thompson.
Wilson, Dak Prescott,
he could also be
Warner,
Sam Darnold. He could also be
Tom
Sam Darnold and Josh Rosen mixed together. We don't know.
He might.
It
be
doesn't
the best
matter when you draft
ever.
the quarterback, as long as he's good enough to make the team, which he did. And when he goes out there and makes the most of his opportunity, which he might, that's all that matters to me. I don't care if you were drafted top 5. I've seen Sam Darnold go top 5. He sucks. I've seen Josh Rosen go top 10. He sucks. I've seen Baker Mayfield go number 1 overall. He sucks. I don't care.
Teddy would start for the Panthers so fast.
I don't care. I don't care what round you got drafted in. You made the team, and if you make the most of your opportunity, that is all that matters. That's it. We're ending it there.
About Cooper Rush, but Cooper Rush shits on
fuck
Teddy.
Cooper Rush. He's actually balling. Shout out to everyone in the chat. Unbelievable. 110
Great stream.
likes.
Fantastic.
160 people watching live. I love you guys so much. If you're new to the channel, subscribe. Come back here Wednesday, 5 p.m. We'll start getting into the Dolphins, Jets, beef, smoke, breakdown. We got it all. Come back here Wednesday, 5 p.m. I love you guys so much. If you haven't already, subscribe, like, and we'll see you guys next week. And as always, fins up, baby.
Fins up,
baby.
Yes, sir.
Time to go 4-1. Fuck them. We ball.